Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, scholars. We are moving on to a brand new section, and that is in Chapter 1, Functions and Their Graphs. And on to Section 1.1. A lot of this is going to be review back from Algebra 1, and then it's going to slightly start to introduce some new concepts. So the start of this new section in 1.1 is going to be kind of light. So it's kind of a little breather from all of our heavy stuff of logs and sequences. But then we'll kind of pick it up here. But this section can be really neat. A lot of graphing, so we'll be using our graphing utility a lot, and also knowing how to graph by hand a lot of these different functions. Okay, so let's go ahead and start here. So example 1 says we're going to be finding the slope of a line. So find the slope of the line passing through each pair of points. So we're given 2 points. Can we find the slope between 2 points? Well, yeah, I mean, this is review, right, from Algebra 1, even pre-algebra. So let's just first maybe go ahead and just write down the formula of slope, right? So you remember that m stands for slope, okay, this is slope, equals my second y coordinate minus my first y coordinate, and that's all over my second y coordinate, or I'm sorry, my second x coordinate over my first x coordinate. Okay, and so basically I can plug in these numbers into this formula here, and so like I'll just label that x1, and then this is going to be y1, and then this is going to be x2, and this would be y2. So as you can see right here, we're just going to replace the y2 with 1, the y1 with 0, and so forth. So let's do this. M equals 1 minus 0 all over 3 minus negative 2. Okay, so again, y2 minus y1, y2 minus y1, right? And then right here, x2, so 3 minus, x1 is negative 2, so watch that double negative right there. Don't be tricked, okay? And so this is 1 over 5, because our double negative right here is going to make a plus sign, and that would be the slope right there. Going on to the next example, y2 minus y1, so 2 minus 2 over 2 minus a negative 1. And right here we get 0 over 3. Now, 0 divided by 3 is just, if you take 0 and divide it by 3, then that's just going to be 0, right? If I have $0 and I want to divide it between my 3 friends, I'm going to be a generous guy, but everyone gets $0, right? So that's going to be the slope right there. And last but not least, we'll do this one, negative 1 minus 4 all over 1 minus 0. So negative 5 over 1, or that's just simply negative 5. Okay, so what these numbers mean is they are slopes. Okay, and let me just quickly talk real quick about slopes, because there are 4 types of slopes, and then we'll end example 1. So let's just look at this real quick, and I would like you to draw just a small sketch of each one of these, but there are 4 types of slopes. Okay, first of all, we have the vertical line. Okay, we have the vertical line, and I don't know if you remember this, but any vertical line, such as this one right here, is x equals negative 3. Okay, and the reason why that this equation is x equals negative 3, because every x coordinate has negative 3. So this point, like right here, would be like negative 3, 1. This point right here would be negative 3, 2. This point right here would be negative 3, negative 2. So as you can see here, every x value is negative 3. That's why this line is drawn as a vertical line here. And then same thing right here, this is x equals 2. So what do we call this slope right here? Well, we actually call this slope an undefined slope. Why do we call this an undefined slope though? Okay, so I just don't want you to memorize things in this class, okay? And Zunes and I want you to teach the reasoning behind things. And let's just think about this. Okay, say if I took these 2 points and then I said, okay, find the slope between these 2 points. So that's the point, negative 3, 2, and the negative 3, 1. So I'm going to take the slope right here. So m equals, so y2 minus y1, 2 minus 1 over negative 3 minus negative 3. So negative 3 minus a negative 3. Okay, watch what happens here. This right here is going to become 1 over A double negative gives a positive, so negative 3 plus 3 gives us 0. You try dividing 1 divided by 0, it's not possible. There's no mathematical way of doing this. And so that's why our slope is undefined, because even if you put this in your calculator, it's going to say undefined or error. It's not possible. So this is the reason why that a slope that's vertical is undefined, because when you actually find the slope, you get a numerical value that doesn't make sense. You can't divide by 0. Okay, so that's one of our slopes, which is undefined. So I'll just go in and highlight that. So that's one of our slopes is an undefined one. Okay, I don't need that there. So what about these next guys over here? What about the horizontal one? Okay, well, this slope right here, if you ever have a horizontal line, this is going to be a slope of 0. Okay, and that means our m is 0. Okay, and as you can see here, why is this equation y equals 3? And then why is this one y equals -1? Because every y coordinate is 3. If I plot that point there, that's the point 1, 3. If I plot that point there, that's the point 2, 3, 3, 3, -1, 3, -2, 3. So look, every y value has 3. And so that's why it's the horizontal line. But the question is, but why is it 0 though? Why? Well, let's just do the same exercise. Let's take the slope between 2 points. So that's the point 1, 3. And that's the point 2, 3. If I were to find the slope, let's see, 3 minus 3 over 2 minus 1. And we get 0 over 1. 0 divided by any number is always 0. So as you can see here, that's why any horizontal line is always going to have a slope of 0. So that is our second type of slope. So we have undefined slopes, which are always vertical lines. That's always true. We have 0 slopes, which are always horizontal lines. Okay, that's always going to be true. And then we have these other 2 types of slopes, and you need to know these, and also the reason why. It just makes sense to have it in your mathematical background. Coming over here now, this one's kind of simple. I like this right here. It says lines slopes uphill from left to right. So if this is little Billy, and little Billy's going to go hiking today, and he travels up the mountain from left to right, is it going up or down? Well, it's obviously going up, right? And so that's why it's called a positive gradient. So we also have positive slopes. So basically, our third type of slope are called positive slopes, and that's when they go from left to right, and they're going up. And if you were to find the slope between 2 points, that just means that the value of the slope, such as right here, this little example right here, would be 2. If I take this point right here, okay, that's the point 2, 4. And then if I take this point right here, and that's the point 1, 2. Okay, if I take that point right there, if you find the slope between these 2 points, you would get 2. And obviously the sign is positive. So this is why any slope from left to right that's going up is called a positive slope. And then last but not least, I'm just going to do real quick. Billy wants to go back down the mountain, and now it's going from left to right. He's going down. So now we also have negative. We have negative slopes. Okay, so those are the 4 types of slopes, and you should have that in your mathematical memory. That's to be something that you should recognize if we're talking about, okay, what kind of slope is that? We have undefined, slope of 0, positive, and negative slopes. And that's going to conclude our first example and basically our introduction to 1-1 there.